I was broke, now I'm the shit. Wildin' up like Nick, whipping in the foreign, no, they loving off the kid. Had to make a change, yeah, had to make a switch. Staying in my lane, yeah, never gonna dip. I was broke, now I'm the shit. Wildin' up like Nick, whipping in the foreign, no, they loving off the kid. Had to make a change, yeah, had to make a switch.
That shit was lame. Alright, yo. Fuck, it's hot as shit. Damn, I probably shouldn't cuss a lot in this video. But let me move this way. It's good, y'all. It's been a minute since we've been back in my room, low key. The next couple of videos might be back in here. But this shit did not taste good after Carmex. But what's good? How y'all been? It's been a minute. It's been a minute. But as y'all could tell by the title down there, it's gonna be a top 10 list. I got a notification. This is gonna be a top 10 list, and this probably gonna be a longer list. So we should probably go ahead and get into it real quick. And this is the 10. This is gonna be the top 10 artists of the decade. Now, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of like variables and factors that go into this. One, to me, damn, no artist that was on like no artist that blew up like 2016. I'll say like before, like if their first, not if their first project, like if they were a freshman, a XXO freshman in 2016, like then like 2016, 2017, not gonna be on this list. So Uzi, X, Playboy, Amine, like I love all of them. They're not gonna be on this list because I just don't think like that's fair. And the thing is, when I go through the list, literally I don't see them bumping anybody on this list for the thing. That's one. Two, I'm basing it off of like how influential they are. Um, th- that's like the number one thing to me, like how influential they are, like how important they are to the game to me. That's one. Two is, what's my second reason? Their fan base, like how strong their fan base is, and like can you judge it, like how strong their fan base is, like is it tight? And lastly is like their success, like commercial wise. Like I don't really care about stuff like that, like so that's last. And the other thing is the last one that's not like important is like it's like I'm a seem kind of biased or whatever, but like what does the music actually mean to me? Like what do I get from the music? Actually, that's not the last thing. And the last thing is artists 10 through 7, I don't really care. I don't really care where you put them, where you put this, where you put that, where you put that. And then artists 3 to 1, I don't really care who's number 1 and who's 3, who's 3, who's 2. I don't care. But the 7 is the 7, and then the 3 is the 3. It's like brackets. Also, with that being said, there's not even really a top 10 list. There's more just say like a discussion. Um, because imagine choosing 10 artists out of the rap out of oh, and that's another thing is this is it. I'm gonna say artists for the sake of the video, but this is rap slash hip hop artists. I'll do a different video for like like artists to me or like musicians. So like Adele, Beyonce, Rihanna, Frank Ocean, Khalid. None of them are gonna be on like this list. This is rap slash hip hop artists. And then that's the thing is, imagine choosing 10 to just for like a whole decade. That's crazy because there's so many of them. And so we'll get into like the snubs and everything. So there's a lot of snubs that I think, but for starters, I'm gonna just go through the list. I got my phone right here. I got my Spotify pulled up. I'm ready. And if you're like, this artist should be this, and this, or this person should be here, or this artist should be on the list, and this artist shouldn't be on the list. Leave that shit down below in the comments. But starting off at 10, right? And it's weird because 10 was a tough spot because I don't know. Like at first I was like, who do I really want to put? Who do I really want to put? But if I didn't put on this list, it would have been a crazy list. But that's why I said like 10. It doesn't like 10 through 7. It doesn't matter. So 10 is I have 10. I have 10 the Migos, and I just feel like they started off the year. They started off the decade strong. They started off the decade strong, and then by when did Culture come out? Like 2016, 2017? I was fired. By the time Culture 2 came out, the Migos were dead for me. I was tired of it. I didn't listen to it anymore. I barely listen to them now. Um, yeah, I listened to a lot of their old stuff. I listened to a lot of their older music. I liked it a lot more um, with like No Label 2 and all the stuff before. I used to listen to the Migos a lot, like 2012, 2013, 2014. By 2016, 2017, it started to die. Like I said, the first Culture album I liked it a lot. But then the second one, I don't even think I've ever finished that album. I don't really care for it too much. Like the times I have tried to listen to it, I don't like it. I'm not going to go into the albums a lot. I'm going to break down all the albums, but albums and mixtapes is going to be another video. So that's that's what I have at 10. But once again, if you put them wherever, I don't really care. I'm trying to put it in a judgment thing, but I've looked at this list so many times, and I would dead abs just have ties. Like this person and this person are all equal to me. This person and this person are all equal to me, and I'll break that down at the end. So second for number 9, like I said, it doesn't really matter. Is I have Drake, and Drake to me, everybody's biggest thing is he sells the most. He does this, but I do not care. His music, the substance of his music, just doesn't matter to me. Like it doesn't. Like he just talks about like how he's that nigga. Like I fuck with that, like that. But like the meaning of his music really doesn't mean anything to me. I don't think it means anything a lot to a lot of people. It's just really, really like it's just really, really like music that you like to like party to, you like to turn up to. It doesn't really mean anything to me. It doesn't hold any weight. And the thing is, the Migos, they had a really big influence on the game, and their sales didn't do as well at first, but their sales do better now. And they have a decent fan base, I'd say. Whereas Drake's influence on the game it's it's not non-existent, but it's not as big as like other artists. It's nowhere near as big. Drake's biggest thing is his fan base, but his fan base are like stands. Like no matter what Drake puts out, they say is good. Like the dude literally dropped an album that came out way before in a playlist, and everybody's like, "We're so happy for the new Drake album," and it's like that's not even an album. And then his real fans are like, "Yo, it's not even an album." That just shows anything he drops, people agree with it. So I don't really care for his fan base. Like I said, he doesn't have a big. I don't think Drake has a big influence on the game as far as like people like, oh, this, and this. People more look up to Drake as a person, like how he's a really successful person and all that. They don't really like his music. It doesn't have a big influence, and that's because who he draws his influence from is more. I'll get to that later. Who he draws his influence from. So I have Drake. Um, Another thing people say about Drake is he's really consistent. He's really consistent. He's really consistent, and that's true. But his consistency is, to me, it's not like amazing. Like he's not consistently great. He's like He's not like it's just like he's consistently average to me. Like and if we're being honest, like towards the end of Drake's career, like especially he's moved more towards like R&B, which I really like. Which I mean, like I don't like it, but it doesn't bother me. Like I don't really care. So for him to to be like a rap hip hop artist is kind of pushing it. But Drake is like really really consistent, but it's consistently like the same thing. Like it doesn't get better. It's not he's not consistently getting better. He's consistently like this. Whereas other artists are consistently going like this, and I care for that more. So I have Drake, like I said, at 9, but I'm gonna break it all down at the end. Okay, and then I have Tyler the Creator, and when I put this on here, I was just like I'm just going through the list, like whatever. And as I was looking back at it, I'm like, Tyler's literally the opposite of Drake, whereas he's really influential. Like people really look up to Tyler. Like I want to do this, I want to do this. I like his music like that. But my biggest thing about Tyler and somebody else on this list, I'm gonna get to them, is each project sounds different, and I personally like that, and I think it's a good thing because it shows growth. It doesn't sound the same. And some people like some of their projects are gonna sound the same, but Drake's is like this. Some people's is like this. Tyler and somebody else on this list, their projects are like this. From their first project of well, like you could go all the way back, like Bastard and stuff, but I'm talking like albums. And I think the first one's like Bastard or whatever. No, the first one, no, Bastard's the mixtape. First one's like Goblin or whatever. I'm just like, okay, that has a certain sound. And then there's Wolf, and it has like a different sound. But it's like, all right, Tyler's going like this. And then there's Cherry Bomb, and it's like, okay. And then he drops Flower Boy, and that sounds completely different. And it's like this. And then Eeyore comes out, and it's completely different. And it's like every single time Tyler's just getting better and better and better. Like you could tell he's working on his craft. Like he wants to perfect music. Excuse me. I was actually watching this interview, I believe, or like I was reading it or somewhere, and they were asking like pretty much the question is like, why don't you post like your funny things anymore or whatever, like your trolls and all that on the internet? And he literally says, I have people like Jay Z and Kanye West backing me, saying like my music is really really good, but then like their fans don't think that. And he said because like when they get online, they just see me like goofing off or like having fun or whatever, and like that's cool, you could do that. But his thing was like, I really want people not to focus on those things, and I want people to focus on my music. And if you focus on Tyler's music and not like his other antics or whatever you want to call it, Tyler's music is really, really good. Tyler's music is really, really good, and it gets better each time. So there, I have Tyler at 8. But like I said, I don't really think Tyler deserves to be at 8. It's purely based off like just like his impact on like music, like how he shook the whole game. Like it's crazy what Tyler did, what all of our Future did, but Tyler being the head of it. Okay. Next, I have Future, and this is where things get tough. This is where things get tough. I think Future's influence on the game is slept on. I think Future's influence on the game is slept on. Future's thing is like I said. Let me put this right here. Like how I said before, I said other people like how I said Drake is like this, Tyler's like this. Future's one of those ones where it's like this. Future goes up and down, up and down, up and down, but he's staying like in that good thing, like his highs, his lows, his highs, his lows. And his lows, some people don't even think they're lows. But Future is really, really slept on. I feel like um it's just I remember when he first came in the game. Not when he like first came in the game, but like the first time I heard him, and I'm like, yo, like it's really, really good. It's really, really good. And this is pre like before that run had he went on. And that run is where like Beast Mode dropped, Dirty Sprite 2 dropped, um, Monster dropped, all of it, and then he dropped someone with Drake. But the thing is, I feel like I always debate this with people, is like Drake is not making Future hot. Future is already buzzing. He's on fire. He can't be stopped. And it's not Drake elevating him. To me, it's saying like, "Yo, you got that shit over there that's cooking, but like this is Future. You got that over there that's cooking. Well, come over here. I got some heat." And they riding with it. And Future's like his voice, just how he is, like his persona, like just everything. I just liked it. He's a really really big influence. Um, with kicking the door down. Um, I know him and Thug had beef like in the beginning. I wish that didn't happen, to be honest, because I think we would have had a lot more, like fire. I know they're all cool now, and that's good. But Future, I remember Future first came in the game. He had a song like not when he first came in the game, but like first hearing him, he had a song with like YC, like Rax or whatever. Fire. I don't want to get into like too much of like albums, but for this, I have to. It's not even an album; it's a mixtape. When Future dropped Monster, like crazy, like on fire. I think that's Future's best project ever. So legendary, so influential, and then also like March Madness, like Dirty Sprite, like the list goes on for Future. It's just stacks and stacks and stacks of just like greatness. Like I said, his lows are like here, but like his highs, it's really really good. That brings us to the next artist, which is Thug. And Thug, just like I said, Future slept on. Thug's influence on the game is bar none. Thug's is like it's crazy, like what he did. Like I remember when he first came in the game, and it was like I don't know how to explain it. Like he was kind of like now what we would call like a meme rapper. Like it's just like a meme, kind of like a Blueface, like how Blueface is like always off beat or whatever, and how Thug was like really like what is he saying? It's just mumbling. He's just making noises, but the sound took off. The sound took off and went and travels. And I love now how he's like a grandfather in the game. Like he brings us all the artists he brings, all the artists he's with, like Baby, Gunna, like all of it. Like he's just such a good person. I like it. He's so influential. His music is really, really good. Thug has really, really nice beats. I really like his beats. He's just it's like when you listen to Thug, it's like, I don't know, it just put that mood in you. Like that shit's fire, dog. That shit is fire. So I really, really love him, and that's what I'm saying. It's so weird for me to put Thug over Future when reality to me, they're tied. Like it's like equal because that's why. Like I wish, like I said, they didn't have beef in the beginning. It's really equal. I really see them as like the same. Like Thugs, and that's the thing. I forgot. I should have wrote notes for this. What Future's fan base was big when like Xan and Molly and Lean was like really really big, and then like how that whole epidemic like kind of broke down, whatever. Future's thing kind of like trickled down, but like his music was still hot. He was still hot. Thug's fan base like back then, like 2014, 2015, it was not big. Like I said, people were like, "What is he saying? This, and this." But Thug's fan base recently is big. It's big. Just a lot of people writing for him. A lot of people like him. It's growing. It's growing. It's growing. You can see it, and I really like that. And that's why I have Thug. Like I don't know. I'll go through the list and rank them all. This is just kind of who's on the list. So next, and this is another one that I don't think his influence now is as big as it will be, but it's gonna get there. But he has the same thing with Drake, whereas his influence came from somebody else, and that's Travis. And Travis, Travis had that Tyler and that Oh, I haven't said the other person. Travis had that Tyler and somebody else on the list. That thing where Travis's first project with Al Farrell to me is his best. Like that's I probably shouldn't have said that. Fuck. Travis's first project and Al Farrell was fire to me. Like I really like it. Actually, I could say it. I really like it. It's fire. But then from Al Farrell, I was like, okay, and that's like laying the pavement. And then he dropped Days Before Rodeo, and that's some of his fans like they love it. That's like that's his best. That's his favorite. This and this. But then he took it a step up in Rodeo, and Rodeo's like the first album, but it's like the first one he's put, and like people are like, okay, Travis is cool. Travis is cool. Now, with that being said, he has that Drake thing to me where Travis's music is falling to me. It's falling in my eyes. It's falling. But him, obviously, with the baby, with Kylie, this, and this, and how like he holds himself with like Drake, it's like people more so are attracted to his success and who he is now. I feel like compared to his music, like people just like his music, but I feel like they like him more as a person. Same with Drake, whereas I feel like people are like Drake's music is like okay, but Drake's music is really carried by who he is. Like what the fuck? They gave him a fucking a jet for free. Like it's like it's more so like Drake carries his music. His music doesn't carry him. Where I feel like the other people, like people know Drake for Drake, whereas other people, like Young Thug for his music, Future for his music. Like if you just walk up to somebody like Future, they're like no, you're like oh the person who made this and this song, they're like oh yeah, you feel me? I feel like that's kind of how it is for Travis at this point, where his music is more so just like we just love it no matter what. I do like how Travis, like I said, like how he was getting better. I don't like it, but I like Travis's his influence on like the younger fans. I feel like is really, really it holds its weight. It's really, really good. I was just talking to my brother about this. This dude has dropped an album or a project every year since 2013, and he manages to stay like at the top. Like most people, like that stay at the top, they don't drop every single year. He drops every single year since 2013 a project, and he stays relevant. But like I said, after Rodeo, what dropped? Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight. That was okay. I didn't really care for that one. It's alright. Um, then Cactus Jack. I can't even get through that one. I don't really care for that one at all. And then what dropped after that? That was 2017. Astroworld. Astroworld was cool. I went to go see him perform that one. Like I went to that concert, the Astroworld concert. It's cool. It doesn't. I don't think it's gonna. It might live well. I don't really listen to it anymore like that. I don't really care for it. I don't think that's. I don't know. I just don't think that's his best project. I don't even think it's close to being his best project. I mean, he dropped a new one, Jack Boys or whatever. I haven't even listened to that. That dropped like 2 or 3 days ago. I haven't even listened to it. I'm not even going. I maybe eventually, but I'm good on that. I don't want to hear it. But this video long. All right, fourth, we have Kendrick, and Kendrick, Kendrick's different. Kendrick's different. Kendrick's he 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 has all three where his fan base is really really good. They ride for him heavy, really really good. They ride for him heavy. He sells he sells pretty well for him to be like the type of rapper he is in this day and age. He sells well. His influence is it's not there yet. It's gonna come up in like the younger like the people who are coming up now. It's but his voice like I like the way Kendrick his influence like I said will come then. I talked about his sales, but Kendrick himself. Um, I liked I like Section 80. I like Good Kid, Mad City. To Pimp a Butterfly was okay. Like the replay value of it is I just don't want to listen to it. But Damn was good. But what I like about Kendrick is Kendrick's storytelling is really really good. Kendrick's storytelling is amazing. It's fire. His storytelling is amazing. I love it a lot. I like his alternative voices. And but the thing is, for me, why I don't have him up there is because I don't feel like he's as influential yet, like I said, as the rest. And I just feel like sometimes he's not slept on or overhyped. It's just I don't know. It's like sometimes they be pushing it a little too hard. And for me, it was one of those things where it was like this. Excuse me, fuck. Because in the beginning it dropped, it was overly dedicated, right? And that one was good. And then Section 80, which is my personal favorite. I love Section 80. And then after Section 80, he dropped Good Kid, Mad City, and that's like his commercially like successful one that like put him on, I think, and everybody loves that album. And then after Good Kid, Mad City was To Pimp a Butterfly, and that one was like received well because of like the meaning and all, and like the stories behind it and all that. But I just personally, like I said, the replay value of it, I just didn't care. And then he dropped Untitled, and it was kind of dipping. And then he dropped Damn, and Damn brought it back a little bit. I'd say Damn is pretty good. I really like that album. It's a good album. I like the features on it. um, the storytelling on that album is good too. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, Kendrick is just. I feel like he's more so like the grandfather of like you just listen to it and it's like you can't really hate on it. And if you do, it's kind of like why were you hating on this? It's really really good, but it could put some people to sleep. All right. And then there's the top three, but I kind of want to get into snubs. I'm gonna talk about snubs now, and snubs meaning like Wale didn't make the list for me. I know that's crazy, but it's just like even Uzi is a snub, but it's like I just can't put somebody who's only been like in the game for like 3 or 4 years. I can't. It just doesn't do it. So like Wale, like we could go through all like the newer snubs. Like 21 Savage is a snub, and I love 21 Savage. Uzi is a snub. Um, Kodak is a snub. Amine is a snub. Playboy is a snub. None of them are gonna make the list for decade. Artist of the year, like decade. Like it's kind of like I always think back to like last generation, where it's like if we would have put Drake on artist of the year for the last generation, or if we would have put um, Cole on there, or Kendrick on there, or even Cudi on there for last generation, it's like it's not really fair, So but actual snubs is Meek did not make it, Wale didn't make it, Rick Ross didn't make it. I feel like those are like the three that I'm thinking that I'm like, damn, like it should have been like I don't know. For Ross, I just feel like he got caught with being like towards the end of last decade, and then like he kind of fizzled out towards the beginning of this decade. So like he got hot. I would say like around for me, I'll say like that run from like last decade. I'll say like around 2007, 2008 to this decade. Like I feel like Ross was hot like 2011, 2012, which is a good run. Don't get it wrong, but it's like he started off a little too late there, and he fizzled out a little early here. So that's why that one doesn't work for me. And Meek, I just feel like he fizzled out early. But like him going through his law issues really brought him back. He has really, really good music, but it's just a snub at the end of the day. Wale, the same thing, just the battles with like the ups and the downs of like people saying, oh this, like it just kind of fizzled out early. And those are like the three snubs that I think like damn. And then my two biggest snubs for me personally is Wiz and ASAP. Now with these two, I was going through my Spotify, and I know there's also a lot more we could get into. Chance and Mac, but I was going through my thing, and I've seen like there like a lot of mixtapes are on Spotify now, and Wiz's mixtape got put on there. And after I seen that, I'm like, Wiz might have to make the list, but I couldn't do it because I can't bump Wiz for any of these ones, even though like he's personally one of my favorites. I can't bump Wiz for this because they got Cushion Orange Juice on there now. They got Cabin Fever. They got Cabin Fever 1 and 2. You got Rolling Papers, and Rolling Papers to me is fire. Like I remember when that shit dropped. I used to listen to that all the time. But he's just ultimately he's a snub, and I kind of feel bad. And the same with Rocky. But the thing is, with Wiz and Rocky both have like rock hard fan bases. Like a Wiz fan base is hard. I remember a Forbes thing came out, and they were like, and Wiz was like in the top 10, and everybody was shook. It was like Wiz's fan base rides for him. He makes really really good music. Um, it's not mainstream. It's not mainstream. It's more of he stays in his own lane, and that's kind of the same thing with Rocky. The only problem I have with not putting, but Rocky's influence. Like if this is the thing is if we're talking artists, Rocky has to make the list because he's just the way he goes about his fashion, the way he goes about everything it's a phenomenon. But yeah, for Rocky, I just feel like the first one is the mixtape is Love Live ASAP, and then it's Long Live ASAP, and then it's At Love Live ASAP or At Long Love Live ASAP. And that's my favorite one. But then Testing dropped, and the thing is like I said, how you can't be in the game for half, like or like a quarter, like towards the end of the decade, and then stop. Rocky put out like At Love Live ASAP or whatever the third one is in like 2014, 2015, and then he was just gone and gone and gone and gone and gone. And I know there's like Koji tapes and all of that, but Rocky was gone. And then he dropped Testing, and it was lackluster. I just didn't really like it. I didn't care for it. But those are my snubs. I feel bad. There's way more snubs. I already know there is. Just leave them down in the comments. But like I said, so if I'm trying to rank this list, I think that I think off of influence, fan base, and like commercial success, I think all of them are tied. I think I put Kendrick and Travis to me. I really like how I said, like their fan bases, who their influence will rise soon, but it's not there. But they do sell what they do sell well, and their fan bases are really strong. I have them tied. I have Thug and Future tied. I actually have Tyler above all of them. So it'll go Tyler, and then it'll go Kendrick and Travis, and then it'll go Thug and Future, and then I'll have Drake and the Migos tied. Whereas they probably sell, they the Migos probably don't sell as much as Travis, I don't think. But before, like when they got like when Offset and Cardi B got together, like when the Migos are booming, like really, really going off the. All right, when things stop recording, um, so I'm gonna just keep going, whatever. But like I said, so I have Drake, Migos tied. I have Kendrick, Travis, and Tyler tied, and then I have Thug and Future tied. And you could just put them wherever. Right then the top three. If you know me, it's not going to really be a surprise. But for some people, it's going to really be a surprise. And like I said, this is off of I think influence, fan base, and sales. And all of these three could be interchangeable. But I kind of like the top two where they're at, and I kind of like the last one where they're at. And number one, I think for like influence, sales, fan base, I think J. Cole. Like it's just what it is, what it is. Like you can't really hate. Like J. Cole is like, to me, I'm not gonna say a better version of Kendrick, but it's like if you hate on Cole, it's just like you're just a hater. But then like some people are like, oh, his music's so boring. But it's like his fan base is crazy. Like they ride for him no matter what. The dude literally drops a tweet like 4 days before his album drops, and it just goes crazy. Like his numbers go crazy. His music, like the way his perspective is, like I said, like his influence on the game. Like just look at the Dreamville roster. Like that's just crazy what he has going on over there. People love it. He's such a nice guy. So like his motives are like they always seem genuine and kind hearted, and that falls into the next dude, which is Kid Cudi. Like he's such a genuine dude. His influence on the game, I think he has the biggest influence any artist in the last 15 years. Just look at the way his sound, look at the substance of like what he talks about, like drug addiction, depression, all of that. That's like the big thing today. Battling demons, all of that. Kind of like the emo rap. I don't really like that, but he's such a genuine dude. The problem that I have with Cudi is he kind of had that dip too. But even his dips, like his fan base was like, you could tell that he's going through something, so they're still there for him. And what I mean is, like I said, I can't count Man on the Moon 1, but that's phenomenal. I can't count A Kid Named Cudi, but that's phenomenal. But literally at the beginning of the decade, he drops Man on the Moon 2, fire. He drops Indica, fire. Then he drops that long ass album, like a kid satellite flight to the Man on the Moon, the one, like that shit. And that was kind of like a flop. And then he drops Speeding Bullet to Heaven, and that was kind of like a flop. But like if you really listen to those albums, you like there's people that are like his fan base, and even other people are like, I really like it. Like you could just tell that like what he's going through, this, and this. People want to rock for him. People want to be there for him. But I have it there because he's just such a genuine dude. Like it's like you can't hate on Cudi. Like even Drake, like the biggest artist in the game, like as far as like popularity goes, the biggest artist in the game. This is Cudi, and people are like, "Yo, like what's wrong with you?" And that's how you know that like he's genuine because like the love he gives is genuine. I mean, the love he gets is genuine. His fans are really genuine. The music he makes is genuine. Like everything just seems real. It doesn't seem forced. It seems like it's like a natural thing. I really like that. And then Kanye, why I have Kanye third is because I feel like I think Kanye would have been the best artist last decade from like the 2000s to like 2009. He literally dropped College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation, 808s and Heartbreak, like four, I think three classic albums and one questionably classic album. It's just a substance of 808s can't really be a hip hop classic. Um, he dropped four of those in 10 years. The dude has 21 Grammys. Like, how is he not? He's definitely artist of the last decade. But this decade, people sleep. But he dropped My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and that's a fire album. And he dropped, and this is the thing I was gonna say, whereas Drake, like Kanye broke down the door for rappers like Drake and Cole and Kendrick. I'll give it to him. And Travis, like he broke down the door for everybody. His influence is unmatched. But that's that half of the influence. Whereas the other half of the influence is like Kanye made it cool to talk about whatever. Cudi made it cool to talk about being depressed, going through your feelings, being a drug addict, going through this, this, and this. Cudi made it cool for that, whereas Kanye just made it cool to talk about forever. Whatever. I watched the interview, and Drake was even like, I can't, like, pretty much I can't hate, like, Drake, Kanye is my favorite artist. He's a really good artist. And that's what I'm saying, whereas Drake's influence isn't going to really show because it really just came from Kanye, whereas Cole's influence it's not going to really show either. Like neither is Kendrick's until later. Same with Travis because it all came from Kanye. Like Kanye's influence is unmatched, other than I think Cudi. But Kanye, I was gonna say this: Kanye dropped Yeezus, and that was like when it first dropped. People bashed that album. They hated it. They could not stand it. Nobody liked it. Like everybody shat on it. And now it's like I'm watching an interview and there people are like, "This might be Kanye's best album ever." The sounds on it, it's so modern now. It's what everything sounds like now. And he drops this in 2013. It's what like the rock beats, all of that. That's what it sounds like now. But I just feel like that's what he dropped then in 2013. But that's what Cudi's been dropping for a while now. So I feel like I said, all of these are kind of tied. The top three is all kind of tied, and the bottom seven is all kind of tied. I just like Cole and Cudi at the top because I feel like Kanye ran things last year. Whereas, like I said, Kanye he had the linear success of it going like this, like his albums just getting better and better and better, whatever. But like towards this at this decade, it's like his albums have kind of went like this to me. But it's like his when he's dropping off of what he did last decade, his influence is so big that it's still up here. Whereas I feel like Cudi's and Cole, their influence is up here. Cole, both of their fan bases go crazy. I know Passion Pain Demon Slaying sold well, and I know Cole's latest album KOD sold really well. They're more, I would say, like commercial albums, or whatever. But like I said, but that's my top 10 artists of the decade. Looking through it, it's not even really a top 10. It's just who I think is the most influential, who I think their fan base is like the biggest, like they really put in the work. They deserve their fan base what they get or what they've gotten and how well they sell. And they sell because they're fans. Like your fans are what make you sell. But they've put in the work, like they deserved it. Um so yeah, you got Cole. Like I said, it's not really in order, but I have Cole on the list, Cudi on the list, Kanye on the list, Kendrick, Travis, Thug, Future, Tyler, Drake, and the Migos. That last spot is questionable. I'm looking at it again. It's questionable, but it's just you can't knock the Migos. They created a whole sound. It's so different. It's so different. Same with Drake. Like for somebody to like I said, I don't really care about numbers, and I think it's all just whatever. But for somebody to do the numbers that he did, it's absolutely crazy. It's whatever. Tyler, for somebody to get better and better and better and better to me with each album is so like so and he's so and how it's so unique. Like each album is different and how he just changed it all up from Goblin to Flower Boy or Igor. It's completely changed. Such different shit. Then you have Future, where there's a dude on the scene and it's just like this real like trap like I don't even know. Future has such a unique sound. It's so different. Then same with Thug. One thing I meant to say is when people are like, oh, Thug just bit Wayne. Thug bit Wayne. Don't get it twisted. Wayne is a GOAT, but I don't really see it. I really see Thug as like his own person. I really like it, the way his voice sounds. And then Travis, Travis started off to say just what sound on my brain. Travis started off with that such like dark, grim sound that I love off like the first like three projects. It was so good. Then how he transformed to like this new like upbeat, like electro, like kind of upbeat sound, which is still good. It's whatever. And then Kendrick, like I said, do we even need to say anything? This dude has probably the greatest storytelling ever. Like his storytelling is fire. Really, 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 really exquisite storytelling. I love it. From Kendrick, you go to Kanye. We don't even need to talk about Kanye. 21 Grammys, super influential, super. He's influential, but like he's really an inspiration to like the kids. Like even the weird shit he says, but like how he says I'm like a superhero. Like to people like 23 to like maybe like 15, 16, like they really look up to Kanye. Like I said, if we're gonna go artists and we're gonna talk Rocky with the fashion, like how can you not bring up Yeezy and just the whole Yeezy clothing line? And then Cuddy, just the whole punk emo, like punk emo. I just genuine. I just do what you do, love what you do, be who you are. Like how do you hate on that? And then Cole just more so care about the things that are important in life and just love your family. Like just care about the things that actually mean stuff to you, not about what they are telling you is supposed to mean things to you. Just so really looking at this list, like this might be like the best list top to bottom. I think like this decade was really a good decade for artists. They produced a lot of really good artists. And what's crazy is like all of them have like songs with each other, so that's a really good thing. We gotta get them to all like not realize that like it's not about like who's better at this. It's just about like having fun, making music together, and enjoying life. But that's gonna be it. This is a fucking long ass video. These lights got me hot as fuck, and my mic's finna die, so I'm finna go charge that. And it's been your boy, and I'm out.